GPVWC 2020 is go!
Good evening, everybody. We are back after 4 long weeks off on holiday, enjoying the nice weather and keeping safe, hopefully, as well. We are back for round 10 of the Formula Challenge 2020 season here at GPVWC. I'm David Carter. Next to me, it's a guy that you'll all know from previous, but may not have necessarily heard from before. Ewan Gale, who's our writer at GPVWC, has written some great pieces in the past, is next to me this evening. It's great to have you here, Ewan. How are you feeling?
Thanks, David. How are you? I'm good. I'm excited. It's good to have racing back, isn't it? This championship's been great to watch all season. Some great battles on track, and just can't wait to get it started again.
Well, there's a lot has happened in the last 4 weeks, which I will go through. Well, we will go through between now and the race. Yeah, it's been very, very eventful. We've had a new team enter. We've had drivers going in and out and then out and then out and shaking it all about pretty much in the last 4 weeks as well. But now it's time to stop talking. Time to start racing again, as I've just seen a massive pile up in the pit lane actually. Before we even get cracking, some guys obviously a little bit rusty. But yeah, guys are now leaving the pit lane now, and actually it's a long lap here, Ewan. There's been a few driver changes. But first of all, it's great to see. Well, before I mentioned the new team, you might remember Drive Game Seat pulling out before Hockenheim a few weeks ago. Well, now we have a team in their place, and it's great to see that George Morgan has, firstly applied to join the league, secondly got his team into Formula Challenge. Geo Grand Prix Racing are here, and it's a brand new team. They've never raced before here, Ewan, but they're, Formula Challenge is the fourth tier of the career ladder, but it's still not going to be easy for them.
No, it's not going to be easy. It's the best place for them to start off. They've got 2 drivers coming in for them as well, Danny Robbins and Diogo Moscato. Moscato's obviously been with them in other series before, so that will help them, having a good relationship between driver and team. Danny Robbins we know from GPVWC before as well, so they've got 2 drivers that will be able to help them make their mark. Obviously they're half a season behind the rest of the team, so I don't think they'll have too high target set for themselves, and yeah, I think they'll just try and get some finishes, see what points they can pick up, and go from there for next year.
Yeah, that's good. Obviously, Moscato, I believe, is his debut actually here today, and in GPVWC. Danny Robbins, as we know, he's played, moving from team to team a little bit. He's developed quite a long CV, shall we say, a bit of a journeyman, but hopefully, at last, we've only signed it into a team. I believe this is his 9th team in the last 2 years now. But hopefully, he's found a home which he can settle down into. And George Morgan, I heard a little bit from him, of course. He seems very, very enthusiastic about joining, and I think he just wants to learn about it as well. Learn about what it's like being a team owner. As seems to carnage your head. People trying to start a lap, massive queue of cars. But yeah, to George Morgan, we wish you all the very best of luck. I know what it's like to be a new team from last year, and it has its challenges, that's for sure. But hopefully, you can just gain experience for at least for 2021 as well. First few cars on a lap, and the first car actually setting a lap time is going to be Sven de Vries. Now, Sven de Vries pulled out of his team Thunderdog. He said, "I've had enough of this. I'm going into Super Cup." Then realised he could race one more round here today, so he decided to drive for Rookie Monsters. He's on the lap now, but you know, here Ewan, it's like Sven wanted to win a championship. I think it's clear that he came in to win a championship, and you could argue that now he say he's a long way behind Martin Henderson championship. He's decided to move up, I feel. He may say otherwise, but if you're in it to win it, you're not going to pull out of it at this stage of the season.
No,
the grid will miss him, won't he? He's great. He's great for the championship. He's had a great season, but do you think he's pulling out for the right reasons, the wrong reasons? Would you say?
I think only you can decide. I think what you said there is definitely what it looks like is happening. For now, I think we just gotta enjoy him being in the race today, and see what he does when he does step up. It is a shame that he's not going to complete the season. Personally, I really enjoyed watching him and Martin Hemmingson fighting at the start of the season. I think Bahrain was where they went over the line pretty much together. So yeah, it is a shame. Only he knows why he's doing it, and yeah, let's just enjoy tonight.
I'll say he's in the Rookie Monsters, which, let's face it, Rookie Monsters, they've had a pretty poor season, and there's no getting away from it. But hopefully with the hands of Sven de Vries, they'll be able to pick up their season a little bit and get some points on the board. Currently P5, Sven de Vries, current pole position holder Thomas Harvey for the Gridline team there. And Thomas Harvey actually really picking up some great results in recent times. Hockenheim gets his first win of the season, Silverstone. Now currently professional pole position here, but again, very early days. Volker Hoekstra in P2. Great to see him back, actually. He's not raced since Zandvoort. He's had a bit of a break. Because, he's had a bit of some great performances this year, but a tough season as well of incidents. He's now back in the car. Great to see a driver of his calibre in Formula Challenge once again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a shame the way that he bowed out earlier in the season with the incident in Zandvoort as well. He pretty much finishes on a podium every week he races in Formula Challenge, so it's good to see, like you said, a driver of that calibre back in the series. And yeah, it just adds to the list of drivers that we know are good hard racers and can bring some excitement to the championship.
Indeed, he does. And I've always said all along, because we've got drivers coming in. Andrew Waring is coming back today after his performance in Canada. He got a win there as well for that, and he's racing for Valley Esports. Again, another team needs to pick up the points as well. But it is the field does get stronger and stronger. People may question that a little bit, but you see the drivers coming into the championship, and people like Waring coming in as well. Herlock's now back as well for Santon as well. He's currently P4. People like that really add to the championship. Just to update you on the Drivers' Championship, while qualifying's going on, Martin Hemmingson on 317 points, Sven de Vries on 246. So the gap at the moment, if my maths are correct, is 71 points. Then it's Patrick Rozak, P3, but he's not here today. He's got a race ban, or round ban, as he's picked up too many licence points over the course of the season. He's out for today. P4 is Keon Branton. He's out now until, I think, Brazil because of real-life commitments. So Mario Watson, who's in P5, Thomas Harvey, P6, Stephen Lexo, P7. They're all racing today. And they're, 23 points separates those guys. They've got a great chance of jumping Branton and Rozak, fighting for that P3 in the championship between now and the rest of the season. Then you've got Wopke Hoekstra in 8th as well, a bit further back. Elias Fernandez, who we believe is pulled out of the season altogether now, because you look at a Sompix lineup now, it's Jaden Wright in one of the cars, and in the other car, I can't remember. Actually, in the other car, it's really bad with me, I must admit.
Eric Teska.
Eric Tesquier, who raced for Downforce last time out as well. So Fernandez has been released from his contract. That's something as well. A bit of a shame, so I thought he was sort of a bit not really spoken of, but putting some great performances this year. So we hope to see Ellis Fernandez back next year. But for the time being, we've got Thomas Harvey P1, Wout Coates for P2, Andrew Waring in P3, Daniel Herlock in P4, Stephen Lexo P5, Deacon Fairclough in P6. No, again, a strong show from him so far. Justin Meister in P7 for 8.6. He's been looking quick in practice. Spender Freet in P8 with Andonovski not only behind him in the stands, but right behind him on the racetrack as well. Andonovski, to be fair to him, he's had a bit of a rough time since he's joined. He's on 9 licence points as well. He's got 1 more point and he gets a race ban. So he's got to really behave himself, or otherwise he can expect to sit on the sidelines as well. I know Rodrigo Carvalho's been a little bit critical of him behind closed doors, I would say. Luca Flask in P10. We've got Martin Hemerson in P11 on a 56.1. Moscato in P12 in the Geo team so far. Chris Crisper 13th. Simon Frelick 14th. And then Danny Robbins. Danny Robbins is now in 16th position as someone jumps up the order. But that is rounding out the top 15 or so. So I just see Lucas Lichten driving no front wing, no rear wings, doing a regates from Baku, it looks like to me, in the Madness Racing car. But looking at the time so far, Ewan, it's very, very close. Got about half a second separating the first, 8 cars. But it's a long lap round spot, nearly 2 minutes long. It's great to see him so close at this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it shows Watson did 2 faster sectors on that lap and still ended up second to Harvey. So yeah, it's really close, like you said. Even though it's a long track, there's not actually that a load more corners than you would have on some of the other circuits. There's a lot of straight, so we could see slipstreaming playing a big part today.
Could do, particularly out of Eau Rouge as well, particularly down that straight there, and then also running up to the back end of the circuit in Sector 3 as well. We could see some teams trying some slipstreaming down there as well. Looking at times, who is going quicker? Thomas Harvey has set a faster sector 1 time as well. He's just over a 10th up on his time going into the end of sector 1 now. But say he's a man who's picked up really well. He had a great end of, the race he did last year was really, really good for him as well, and it took him a little bit of a while to get going. But he has really picked up his performances, Ewan. And now it's more than halfway through the season. Now we've had the summer break. You could see these final 7 rounds, people really looking to pick up their performances, get some points, but also maybe look at the driver market for next year as well. See teams and drivers maybe want to go up the ladder. This is a good time to show off what they can do.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a few drivers who have done a few races in Formula Challenge and have already jumped up 1 or even 2 series so far this season. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So, like you said, it's really, making sure that you can finish the season off as well as you can, no matter where you are in the championship standings. And if you can, get a few results, put your eye in, and people are going to pick you up. Because, if you're getting results in this championship, it shows that you've got a bit of talent.
Thomas Harvey retaken P1 as Martin Hemerson briefly took P1. He's now been shuffled back now by Thomas Harvey in the gridline car. Wilco Hoch is still in 3rd. Amari Watson still in 4th. Tom Stevens in 5th as well, doing a great job for Thunderdog once again. You could say that Tom Stevens could take the mantle away as number 1 driver at Thunderdog. He's impressed me a lot. We raced each other a couple of months ago actually in a race room event with Owen McGowry, who's also a new driver in the team. But impressed me a lot, Tom Stevens, and I said to him, look, just get points, get your feet on the ground a little bit, get some points on the board, and now he's really starting to up his game for the second half of this season. He could be one to watch. Simon Frelick in 6th, Stephen Fairclough in 7th, Slender Freaks in 8th position, Andrew Waring in 9th, and Dan Herlock. Great to see Dan Herlock back as well for he's had constant problems all season. We hope they're sorted out now. He's in 10th position. But yeah, it's looking really tasty here, Human. 3 minutes to go now. You could see people trying to just go to the pit lane and start their final runs.
Yeah, obviously with it being a long lap, they have to get into pit lane pretty much now to make sure they can get back round to start another lap. Going back to Herlock, you're right. It's a shame with all the troubles he's had because he has looked fast, really fast. And I was having a look earlier. He's only had one podium, and he always seems to be running at the sharp end of the field. So it just goes to prove that some things are out of your control.
Yeah, it's a shame because I worked with her like last year as well myself, and I just saw him develop so well, and I thought, you know what, Dan, this could be your year to maybe fight for a championship, but sort of be right in the mix. And I think he could have been there if it weren't for his problems. But hopefully he gets those all sorted out for between now and the end of the season, but obviously more importantly for 2021 if he decides to give it another crack next year. Just to confirm down the order, got Moscato in 20th, Chris Briscoe 21st, Ken van der May in 22nd. He's had a bit of a rough time since joining the league as well with incidents. Hopefully he can improve on that today. Eric Tesker in the P23, Dan Hutt 24th, Jacob Kowalczyk in the Nova Sim Racing car. He's replacing David Krupa today. He's in 25th. Caitlin Penny 26th, who got a podium in yesterday's Academy Series race. Well done to her. Mike Bowen 27th, Jaden Wright to 28th, Paul Guslan in 29th. John McLean again from the Academy Series yesterday, and he got P5 yesterday. I was a bit surprised he got picked, but I believe people who finished above him couldn't make today. So McLean's in for his third round of FC this year. And then Lucas Licton in the pit after damaging the car. I think he just stayed in the pit lane. But everyone's starting to come out for their final runs now. Harvey's just going through sector 1, Hemmingson sector 2, and Sven de Vries has decided I'm going to come out right behind you. Is Sven de Vries on a lap? He's not on the lap, so this might be interesting to watch here. And I think watch these two former championship protagonists out on track together in qualifying.
Will they finish the lap that they're on, or will they get in each other's way? There you go, he's pulled off to the side. So, yeah, there's a lot of people leaving the pit lane very late on. They're going to be absolutely full chat to get back round to the timing line to start their last lap. This is where it spices up. This is what we want to watch.
Yeah, so just Hemmingson going through turn 1. I think it'd be great to get on board with Martin Hemmingson, actually, as he goes out of the source hairpin going down to O'Rourke. Obviously flat out in these cars. Obviously last year was a little bit of a problem with the cars when you followed another car as well with the aero balance, but I haven't seen that so far this year. So fingers crossed they got that sorted, but Hemmingson was a victim of that last year in race 2. DRS now open down his back straight, nearly 180 miles an hour as he braked from the Campbell Straight into the end of sector 1 now. Left, right, left, right. Out of there, down the hill, braking when the curve starts into third gear and down to second gear there as well. Gets on the power nice and early into the corner, no name, the fast fourth gear, left-hand corner. And now down to Pouon. This will be top gear, this will be sixth gear, down to fifth. And it's a very tricky one there, Ewan, because I just see a car there actually completely binned into the barrier. I think that's Jaden Wright. It's one of those Summit cars, that's for sure. But that's his session over. And so now just ending sector 2. He is up on his lap time. Is he going to be up on the leader? So Stephen Lexo's now taking provisional pole position for Nova. But Hemmingson's up. He's 2 tenths up on Lexo. The German driver looks like he's going to get beaten by the championship leader, Martin Hemingson, here this evening. He goes down and back into the circuit now. Full chat. Go 175 miles an hour into the braking zone to the bus stop chicane. Here he goes. Gets a bit of a wiggle on, gets a bit out of shape, but recovers it nicely. Out of the final corner there, up to the line, and there he goes. The first man into the 54s, 54.9. That is, wow. He has been the man this year, hasn't he? He's had 7 wins. He's probably now his 7th pole position of the season as well. 13 podiums in 16 races. He's just proven again that he is the man at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, apart from that one little wiggle through the bus stop, it was pretty inch perfect, wasn't it? Using all of the road available to him, everything was one steering input. Yeah, that was a joy to watch. That lap was. Still, mind you, Hoekstra got pretty close.
He did, and so did Sven de Vries.
Yeah, exactly. Frelick put a good lap in as well. I think he went fastest in the middle sector. So they're not far away. That bodes well for the race.
It does, and Deception's going to be quite powerful here. I mean, if you're in Martin's shoes, you just want to break away as quick as you can, kind of like what he did in Hockenheim, where he won both races in quite dominant fashion as well. But the top 17 guys within a second of pole position, really good effort from them. You got the likes of Jaden Wright playing a Mike Bow, who are a little ways off, just over 2 seconds off the pace. Excuse me. But that has been qualifying. Obviously, we have grid penalties to come, so it'll mix up a little bit. But that's been qualifying. We'll join you in a couple of minutes' time for the warm-up session. We'll see you in a few minutes' time. Yep. Welcome back, everybody. Obviously, just in the warm-up session here. Just over 5 minutes to go here. Just a bit of an update, actually, what's going on regarding our sponsor/partner, IMB Racewear. Their first newsletter's out, and it gives the announcement that they are launching on the 1st of August. So, you guys might remember, particularly if you're a team boss, that I would have sent a message out to all the team bosses and with a promotion offer or this and that about IMB Racewear, what they can do, what they can deliver on their products. Well, they're launching on the 1st of August, so feel free to check them out. You can still sign up to their newsletter as well if you wanted to. And if you've got any questions about IMB Raceway, here myself, for example, we've got Mike Pittman as well, who's on the he's always on the Discord as well. You've got Ian Berryman, who's always on the GPVWC Discord as well. Feel free to message us, or even in the support thread, you can at me there as well if you have any questions at all. So from myself, David Carter, Mike Pittman, or Ian Berryman are always around to answer questions about that as well. A wide array of designs, personalization, sizes, etc. can really make the products your own. So that's racewear, simwear, and karting wear and teamwear you can essentially buy if you so wanted to, of course. Also, obviously, coming up next week as well, you got Super Cup, Super League Lights, and Super League all racing here at Spa this time next week as well, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So then for them, the summer break's nearly over as well. But 4 minutes of warm to go. It's nice temperatures here today, 19 degrees, and heard from a few of the drivers, not too much tyre as well. We can see the drivers doing at the early stages. Obviously, race 1, it's a long evening for them. It's only 11 laps because of the length of the circuit. Do you expect to maybe see drivers a little bit more aggressive than normal, given it's such a quick race around here?
Yes and no. I feel yes, especially when we come to race 2. I feel no, because if you do get yourself into trouble and you find yourself spinning around, damage on your wings or anywhere on your car, then you're compromising yourself for the whole night. So I do expect it to be your usual calmer race in race 1. Obviously, people still want to maximise their results, so it's not going to be just staying in single file. But I definitely expect it to be a bit more aggressive when we get to race 2.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. Reward. You do get rewarded for being patient in the end of the day. It's always been. If you do well in race 1, you got a much better chance in race 2. You don't want to be fighting your way through the pack in race 2 because it can get very, very messy, as a lot of these guys know already for this season. They're just sorting out the grids now. Actually, by the way, you've got the likes. Well, you've got a few grid penalties to add in the mix as well. I believe you got one there for Simon Frelick after a 10-place grid penalty after cutting the track. Well, in qualifying in Hockenheim, a few drivers have got that. 6 or 7 drivers got a penalty for that as well. You got the likes of Lucas Lichten, Kevin van der Meij. They've also dropped back through the field as well. So obviously we're running down the full grid in their formation lap as well. Just to confirm to you, after the penalties have been assigned, Martin Hemerson of What Coaster will be on the front row of the grid. Martin Hemerson looking to get his 8th win of the season here this evening. But another thing I'll ask you, Ewan, as well. Speaking of Hemerson, he's had a great year. Obviously, 2nd season in Formula Challenge. I like to talk about the driver market. I play Football Manager. I like a transfer for here and now. Here and then. Where do you expect to see Hemmingson race next year, or at least in what division?
That's a good question. I think a good step for Martin with the speed he's got would be Super League Lights. I think it would be good to see what he can do on a longer race distance, where you've got a bit more strategy to contend with. And then, if he can do well in Super League Lights, no doubt I think he's got the pace to be a Super League driver as well.
Definitely got the potential. And you look at a lot of their Formula Challenge drivers, they moved up to Super League Lights this year as well. You have Terence Gretsch racing there, Sandeep Singh racing there as well this season. You know, Sven de Vries, you know, he's a man of quality. He's racing Formula Challenge and Super League lights as well. You got Jacob Reed as well, who started in Formula Challenge. He moved up his way to Super League lights and settling quite well as well. So it's definitely possible. And if you're a driver or a team owner or just interested spectator as well, who wants to get involved, maybe try some of these series out, check in the description below of the video. You know, download the mod. You can join our Discord as well. There's over 600 people in there as well. You know, we have it's quite a tight community. We like to stick together. We like to look after ourselves. But you know, if you join the Discord and you're sensible, we're more than welcome to join and get involved in the 5 series we have in GPVWC. Obviously, you start from the Academy series, which is a place where you can learn the mod, learn your racecraft, hopefully do well, behave yourselves, of course. Then hopefully move up to Formula Challenge, Super Cup, Super League lights. Then the top league being Super League, where all the political games really step up a notch. That is warm up or finito. And now we'll move over to the race session now, when the server decides to bring everyone forward. But yeah, you've got great grid. You know, Martin Hamilton at front, but also got Walker Hodge, just Sven de Vries looking to go out. He's going to look to go out with an impact, I think. You know, he's looking to get some good points here today. Lexo, Andrew Waring, of course, dark horse as well. Thomas Harvey doing well. Amari Watson having a great season. Where are you going to place your bets, Ewan?
I don't want to look silly, so I'm going to say Hemmingson, because it's you know, he seems to win every week that he's racing. I think he's only had 3, and one of those he wasn't even racing in Melbourne. So Hemmingson's the obvious one. I do feel like Sven will want to finish on a high, so maybe he would be another one that you could go for.
Yeah, I think any of the top 3 have got a good chance. I know Lexo's had a few problems with his pedals. They seem to be fixed for the time being, but he may not have the full feel and confidence of the pedals as well. But Waring, obviously emergency here tonight. He won in Canada, you know, from starting on the front row on that occasion. Can he be the joker in the pack here this evening? Thomas Harvey as well. We're going to run you through the full grid here now. So, on pole position for the 7th time this year in race 1, Martin Hemmingson for Neptune Simracing. Alongside him, the Dutchman and the return of Wopke Hoekstra for HGP. Sven de Vries for Rookie Monsters, the highest the Rookie Monsters has been in qualifying all season. Might give the odd nosebleed here or 2 in the team. Stephen Lexo for Nova Sim Racing in P4. Andrew Waring in P5 for Valley Sports. Again, a much needed performance by them. Great to see the Canadian back as well. Thomas Harvey in P6 for Team Gridline. Amari Watson in P7, the first in Santa Motorsports cars. He's looking to capitalise and move up the order because of Rozak and Branton not being here, of course. Stephen Fairclough in P8 for Downforce. Tom Stevens in P9 for Thunderdog. Justin Meister in P10 for 86 Racing. A good performance from him. Tom Voss in the second of the HGP cars in P11. David Kolotsai, forgot to mention you, but welcome to GPVWC as well. He is in RBA, obviously stepping in for Rozak. Great to see the Hungarian here trying his hand at GPVWC and Formula Challenge. Daniel Herlock on his return as well, P13. With Simon Frelick in 14th place for the RBA. RBA not having such a strong showing here in qualifying. Luka Polanski in 15th place. He seems to be getting a bracket of a few points now in the championship. Great to see the Maltese driver. Omar Galgi on his debut, P16. Chris Griswood in 17th. Mika Hakimi, another newcomer, in replacing Gerrit de Vries in the first of the Friesland cars, a new livery car as well. Let us know what you think in the chat. And the first of the Geo racing cars, Danny Robbins in 19th, with teammate Diego Moscato in P20. Eric Teske in P21, with Dan Hutt in P22 for Friesland. Paul August Lung, 23rd. Caitlin Penny will be starting in 24th position. Timothy Andonovsky after his grid penalty, P25, with Jada Wright rounding out 13th row in the second of the Sombic cars. John McLean, P27, Mike Bow, 28, Jacob Kabarczyk, P29, and second of Nova cars. Lucas Lichton in 30th, and then Kevin van der Meij rounding off the grid in P31. So a big grid here of already Martin Hempson already lining up, but we've still got about 30 seconds or so before the grid forms up here. Ewan, exciting grid. A lot of new faces, a lot of old faces, some very old faces, of course, but looking like a great grid here for tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And then we got a few people out of position because of grid penalties, Frelick being the main one.
Lights are going on here at start lights. The 5 lights are going on. The second half of the GPVWC Formula Challenge is go, and it looks like a pretty solid start from Henderson. He's going to have the inside, of course, for turn 1. He defends nicely. What for Hoekstra in P2 as they go around La Source for the first time. Everyone seems to be getting around nice and cleanly. There's a bit of contact over the back, but everyone seems to be going pretty nicely as they go up the hill towards Eau Rouge, and it's Henderson in the lead. Wopke Hoekstra second. And this is already Waring's off, and Tom Voss as well. Oh, there's a wheel off. There's a wheel off. Carnage. Absolute carnage. Cars rolling around all over the place. Waring's off. And Danowski's off. Both Bristwood's out as well as both Valley Esports cars out. Herlock's had a wheel off. Right. Penny, McLean, both Kennedy cars are inside each other as well. Licton, Karbarshik. Oh, it's been carnage. A rear wing gone for Tom Voss as well. That's absolute madness there. But back at the front of the field, Hemmingson still leads. De Vries has gone into second place. Where's Wopke Hoekstra gone? He's down to 4th position. Losing out to Stephen Lexo, who's had a great start, the German driver, into 3rd. Harvey 5th. Fairclough's got a drive-through penalty in 6th. Watson 7th. Stevens 8th. Meister 9th. Frelick rounding out the top 10. But Ewan, that's one crazy start.
Chaos, and unfortunately, given some of the starts that we've had this year, I fear completely predictable. You know, one mistake when you've got that many cars going up a corner like Eau Rouge, you're going to have chaos. Hoekstra had a fantastic start from P2 and looked like he was challenging Hemmingson, but he went wide at Les Carmes, and that cost him a few positions. De Vries looks like he's got plenty of speed in a straight line.
Exciting stuff. Didn't see the replay, of course, but it looked like Waring was at least the first one involved. But anyway, first lap completed. We are on as Fairclough's now taking his drive-through penalty already, getting it out of the way. But lap 1 completed. Hamilton leads. De Vries in second. Great to see these two battling at the front of the field again. Lexo 3rd. Hoekstra 4th. Harvey 5th. Watson 6th. Stephen 7th, Meister 8th, Frelick 9th, Kalutcha is up to 10th on his debut. Great stuff from him. Of course, between the top 10 and 15, drivers get reversed to the pole, so you'll be seeing from Kalutcha back, like the likes of McGalgi, Robbins, Moscato, both Geocars running the points as well. Flask and Tesket, they'll all be fighting to try and get this reverse to the pole as well. But that really spread out, of course, because only there's 16 cars, and there's a massive gap further back with that massive incident. And here's a couple of pits.
I was just going to say, you know, we were saying earlier in qualifying about the drivers that have just been picking up points and staying out of trouble. And you can see how well some of the drivers managed to avoid that accident, and they're going to really reap the rewards from that later on.
Yeah, you know, we might as well install the McDonald's drive-through at this rate. They're all in. Kabarshik's in, Wright's in, Tom Voss, August Lam, Waring, Penny, McLean's out, Herlock's out, Hutt's out, and Danowski's out, and Gristwood's out already. So a huge amount of cars. 11 cars out of the race in the first lap, pretty much. So, mad scenes there. 1/3 of the grid gone. But Hemmingson pulling out the gap already. 0.8 of a second to De Vries. Likewise to Lexo. He can put out a bigger gap. About 1 second gap there to Lexo as well. They got Hoekstra, Harvey, and Watson all like in the slipstream of each other there as well. No one's really fighting so far, but it is early stages. But, you know, this one could get close in the later stages of this race, of course. Tyrewear's not a huge thing around here, so we don't expect people to be dropping away like in previous rounds. Oh, Sven Vries made an error in the stop chicane. But it could be one for the long haul here, Ewan. Maybe the last 3 laps or so could get nice and tasty.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you're not going to win the race on the first lap, so keep your tyres in check. Make sure you've got enough for the end of the race. Like I said, it's a short race, long track. Obviously DRS will be in range now, so that might help a few people get closer, but Hemmington's checked out up front.
He has, he's built the gap already, 1.2 seconds, so out of DRS range already. And I said, you know, first couple laps are always going to be key to pull away. And he's done just that, exactly like in Hockenheim as well. But further back, look at Hoekstra. He's challenging Lexo into down the camel straight there. And Lexo defends really, really nicely. Harvey 5th and still Watson 6th there as well. You're going to see a little bit of this. There's further back as well, just for P11. Danny Robbins has made the move on McGalgi, it looks like. And Moscato, his teammate, trying to follow him through as well into downhill hairpin bend there. And looks like Moscato's got a bit of an overlap. McGalgi's on the inside. And wow, Moscato went completely off the track there, completely disobeying track limit. But McGalgi holds position for now. Almost contact there with Luca Flask, but just come out of it. Robbins doing decently well then, solidly in the points. McGalgi trying to hold on to position, but again, as I said, all these midfield battles are always nice and juicy, aren't they? They really do get feisty.
Yeah, that was great, and that was really good driver skill as well. You know, Moscato went wide. I don't think he would have gained as much as if he kept it on track, because it did look as if he sort of drifted wide rather than just chucking the throttle down. But they did awful well not to collect each other through Les Combes and then down Rivage and down into Pouon as well. So yeah, really good driving from the pair down in midfield.
Yeah, it's just looking back at the front of the field.
Moscato's gone.
Oh wow, yeah, Moscato there dropping back. He's got Mike Bell all over the back of him. Starting the back of the field, Mike Bell is now solidly in the midfield and now looking at points. And it's now the Brazilian trying to defend from the experienced Englishman there as Bell down the inside. I thought it might have been contact there, but no, complete clean. And Bell's now going to get DRS down towards Rouge and then down the Campbell Straight as well. Here they go out of there. And looks like cars are handling that quite nicely. I just see a bit of dust up ahead, but it looks like everyone got through there cleanly. Bell's now going to have DRS in the downforce Scalextric's car. And doesn't look like he has got the straight line speed. Oh, but brakes very late there, does Mike Bell. Can he hold it on the inside? There's contact. There's more contact. Moscato holds on to it. But unnecessary contact there between those guys. I think it was too close for comfort. Seemed like they get away for it for now, at least. Yep, they do. They're still holding station there. There's not much fighting going on because obviously the grid's still so far apart there, Ewan, but no, it's still close, particularly at the front of the field. Lexo, Hoekstra, Harvey and Watson. This could get placed later on. Obviously, we're only on the 4th lap.
Yeah, absolutely. And the field's fanned out because of the incident on lap 1. That was a bit dicey up into Les Combes, wasn't it? Moscato sort of closed the door on Bell. Bell wasn't having any of it and made sure he stayed on the inside. They did well to carry on from where they were. But it shows really that you have to be absolutely alongside, because we saw Hoekstra trying to get up into P3 past Lexo at the same corner that previous, and he couldn't make it down the inside because he wasn't far enough up with the short braking zone.
Yeah, these cars have changed a little bit from last year. They've got a bit more aero, which I don't really feel the cars needed, to be honest. I thought they were great cars last year. I'm just seeing Mario Watson diving down the inside of Thomas Harvey into La Source and through up into 5th place. But yeah, these cars have changed a little bit since last year. You know, a bit more aero, and I feel that the mechanical grip that the cars have, plenty to be fair, they're a little bit quicker this year because of the added aero, but it does make it a bit more difficult to pass. Harvey now trying to retaliate and pay back the favour to Mario Watson. Also just ahead of him, Hoekstra. We're going to keep an eye actually just about ahead. P3, Hoekstra. Nose in the head, Lexo braking later into the corner there. And down to Rivage now towards the hairpin. But Lexo holding the station really well. And Watson also kept position up into 5th.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to get absolutely swamped with the DRS as well, so he's done a fantastic job. Knew exactly where he wanted to put his car to defend, and yeah, Harvey can get back through. It was a really, really good move from Watson. He set the move up into the bus stop and completed it into the source.
So obviously we're getting closer to the halfway stage. Now we're on the 5th lap of this race. And, you know, tyres, as I said earlier, tyres will not be wearing out so much, but it'll start taking a little bit of effect now. You know, they won't be pushing as hard as they was at the start. But look at Hemmingson. well in front, over 2 seconds now. And we're on the 5th lap of this race, and it's looking ominous, isn't it? You know, Sven de Vries is pushing as hard as he can, and respect to him, he hasn't had much practice in this particular car, but Hemmingsen just doing what he does best, really, isn't he? Out in front, and looking like he's going to be taking the championship probably the next few rounds at this race.
Yeah, absolutely, and it'll be interesting to see what setups they're both racing with, because De Vries is constantly faster in sector 1. You know, it's pretty much straight hairpin straight, and then Hemmingsen's faster everywhere else. They're pretty much tied in sector 3. So yeah, De Vries can't close up because I don't think he's got the absolute grip that Hemmingsen's got through the middle sector, and that's where Hemmingsen's managing to get away.
Yeah, particularly when you go through Les Combes and Malmedy and Rivage as well, and Pouon will be difficult. Obviously looking about for P3. Lexo and Hoekstra are at it again, and Lexo moves across. It looked like on Hoekstra there a little bit. They get away with it. Harvey's back past Watson as well. He's up back into 5th position, and Stevens in 7th, Meister 8th, Frelick in 9th. Frelick looks like these 3 cars, Stevens, Meister and Frelick, are closing up to the back of Harvey and Watson. This is going to be a bit of a train now from 5th place onwards.
Just about acceptable, that, I think. He had a bit of room on the curbs as well. Of course, it would be different if it ended up in the barriers, and we would have had a few tears, I think. But yeah.
Sven's made a mistake. I was just about to say, actually, Sven's made a mistake as well. He's lost 2 seconds somewhere on the circuit. He's now gapped 5 seconds. Is it a little...
Yeah, he has. He's spun down into the corner with no name. He's put the throttle on out on the curb, and he's not spun, but he's sort of collected the spin, hit the barrier on the inside, so I don't know what damage he'll have. He managed to pick the car up into the Pouon, but he is struggling through Pouon.
Yeah, go on board his car. Look at the steering input he's having to put in to keep the car in a straight line. He's going to be struggling all race long, and his contact between him and Lexo as well. Is Hoekstra going to have a look as well? But Sven de Vries has got big problems and big damage on that car. And he's going to be struggling.
He kept going.
The top 10. He's
He kept going.
Not I. But how's he going to play this? He's obviously staying out on track, but how's he going to be able to defend from this? The car, he's having to put in 20 degrees of lock to stay in a straight line.
Well, it's hard enough to drive this track with normal steering, put it that way. So he's going to have to try and go as fast as he can through Rouge and Radion to make sure that he can look how much he's struggling at the corner apex. And then he's going to lose maximum velocity because of that. That means he's going to be under even more attack. And you've got side by side with suspension damage as well, and it's just a vicious circle. So I feel like he would have been better off pitting that lap, and then, you know, even if he came back into the race and seen what he could have got after repairing a bit of the damage.
Speaking of side by side, I was just watching Amari Watson and Tom Stevens going side by side. There's a bit of contact between Stevens and Amari Watson. Stevens got past. That might not be seen too well in front of a stewards panel if that was what that backed that. But Stevens up to 6th. Watson's down to 7th place. Frelick's past Meister as well. He's into 8th, and Kalatsai is closing the gap now. He's in 10th, but he's sniffing to get into single digits in the field, looking down at 9th, 8th, 7th, and so on. Because it's going right back from 2nd place Lexo all the way down to 10.
Yeah, Sven's really struggling now. He's all over the place. Yeah, I don't know how long he's going to be able to keep this up.
Well, lap 7 now. After this, he's going to have 4 laps to hold on. I can't see it. Yeah, I can't see how he can hold on to this position at least. I think, and with Tyre kicking in as well, he might be looking down towards sort of 10th place there. Hemmingson's up the road. We might as well forget about him and send him a postcard. He's 7.5 seconds up the road. Lexo's in 2nd, Hoekstra 3rd, and side by side again. De Vries and Harvey. De Vries, is he trying to hold on to position? Wow, he's doing a good job of it without steering, that's for sure. But Harvey's passed. He's into 4th position for grid line. And Harvey, the sole representative here, is Liam Rance. Has got a round ban, of course. It's the only grid line car out there, but Harvey's doing a brilliant job for them. De Vries is trying to fight back in 5th position. And even Danny Robbins is close up to this battle as well, P11, but he can see Liam Rance ahead in P4 as he goes through Rouge. You know, he's not out of this, nor Zoe McGalky. This could get very, very tasty next few laps. Going back up front, Lexo. Again, Wopke Hoekstra, it's a Groundhog Day, isn't it? They're all side by side into Les Combes, but they survived this time. down inside, trying to go Tom Stevens. He can't do it either. This is madness. It's great racing, but it's madness.
Yeah, it's absolutely superb, and you know, like we said earlier, there's hardly any contact when they're doing this. It's brilliant driver ability, especially for Sven with steering wheel at a silly angle. I still expect Stevens to go through. Sven again wide round the corner, no name. That's just because he can't get the steering angle into it. Then Pouon, he'll be slower, so that will bring Stevens back onto his rear wing, and then he'll be slow through Blanchemont as well. So expect him to be under attack like he was last lap at bus stop.
But Sven will, if he keeps his 5th position, he'll be wanting a knighthood, I think. That's going to be an absolute nightmare.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, he's done a stunning job, you know, in his farewell Formula Challenge event for this year at least. He's going to have Tom Stevens going to be breathing down his neck up to the bus stop chicane. And also keep an eye for Watson, Frelick, Meister and Colacho as well. They're not going to be wanting to miss an opportunity to pass. If anything happens up here in front, you know, they're going to spend free again, defending into the bus stop. Oh, and there's a bit of contact there between them as well. And watch out for Watson. He's going to be sniffing around here as well. And De Vries a bit boxed in a little bit. So Watson's to go into Lassour's hairpin. Watson looks like he's been past Sven De Vries now. Frelick and Meister make a bit of contact out of this. You've got Colacho closing up to the asphalt. This is brilliant stuff. Some of the best racing, actually, to be honest, I've seen all season, because they're keeping it close, but they're keeping it clean. It's sign of good quality driving.
With Sparrow, we're at Indianapolis. It's absolutely crazy. It's like pack racing. How they're not hitting each other through some of the corners when they're fanning 3 wide, I do not know. It's absolutely fantastic.
Further back in this pack, Colacho's through. He's past Meister. He's up to 9th position. Robbins on his debut, and Gio's debut for the team, and Gio's debut, could be looking at a top 10 finish here. George Morgan will be, you know, delighted with this result, because I always say, if you're a new team and you get points, you're not doing a bad job. And I know a few teams, there's a bit questionable about the decision of Gio Racing at the moment, but can't knock it. You know, both cars are in the points, P11 and P14 as it stands. Moscato's been a little bit erratic, I must be honest, but in the points nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely, and with the positions they're in, they've got a good shout for reverse grid pole, or at least the front row as well, so that will make George Morgan very happy indeed.
Really good. Lucas Glass rounding out the top 15. Mike Bell looking like he's just about to miss out. As it stands for points, he's in 16th place. And you've got the likes of Teska, Hakimi, Van der May and Caitlin Penny rounding out the top 20 as well. Back up front, let's give a bit of a recap. Henningsen's out by a mile. He's got 2 laps to go. He's 8.5 seconds in the lead. Lexo's second. He's actually broken away a little bit now from Booking Extra. Harvey's actually now broken from that main group behind. Now sniffing for a podium. He's just closing up to Hoekstra and Lexo pretty rapidly, actually. And then you've got Tom Stevens 5th, Watson 6th. De Vries is holding the whole up still. We've got a 6-car train here for 7th. So we're going to keep an eye on this for the time being, because it's going to get pretty feisty, I think, as we go down the Campbell Straight in a minute. RBA cars, look at that, hounding the Dutch American.
I'm just amazed he can get it through, Rouge.
Yeah, he's done well, you know, because that is tricky in these cars. Just watching Watson has passed Stevens for 5th. We'll get to that in a minute. Frelick has passed Sven De Vries. He's into 7th. De Vries dropping back. Maybe now he's kind of thinking De Vries is convincing himself, you know what, I'll just go for a reverse good pole. So he's dropping back anyway. He has to push, but he might be thinking, oh, just get 10th, you know, that'd be better for race 2, get some more points for rookie monsters.
Yeah, that would make sense, especially with how much he's hanging on. Colacho tried to follow his teammate Frelick through at the com and almost cost himself a position. He got a bit wide. Meister had to look down the inside but didn't get it done.
Meister sniffing. No cigar this time. So we have to try and set himself up for the bus stop as Hemmingsen's just about to come to the end of the 10th lap here and going to start his final lap. He's going towards the bus stop any moment. Now Lexo, he's got Hoekstra firmly in the mirror. Will Hoekstra launch an attack in his final lap? He's closing. He is close enough to the back of Lexo. Not looking for a move this time around, of course, but maybe into La Source or maybe down Camel straight as well into Leiku. He's only half a second behind, so he's got a good chance here, to get himself back on the podium after his long time away.
Yeah, like I said earlier, he's been on the podium most of the time he's raced this season. They've had a bit of contact already in this race down into the com at the end of the straight. Harvey's just sitting there waiting to pick up the pieces if they do get into each other.
So I think it's a bit of an update because Danny Robbins is up to 10th. So we've got De Vries. We have got Kalutza. Robbins has passed Meister. I think Meister's stuffing with his tyres a bit more than the rest of the field because he's dropped back quite a bit. Then back to Lecume for P2, and Lexo's defended well. He's defended well for Coach. We've got about 2/3 of a lap to go. Harvey's sort of a bit on his own now. Likewise with Watson in 5th. They'd be really happy though to come back and put himself a good performance once again here. Tom Stevens in 6th. Likewise, he's really happy picking up good points against the front of Frelick in 7th. De Vries still holding up this train of cars in his final lap. But in fairness, Ben De Vries has been fighting for wins this year and fighting Hemmingson, but this has probably been his biggest workout of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I said at the start, I'm surprised he didn't come into the pits. So, who was that going wide? Was that Robbins? Yeah, it was Robbins losing 10th. I think McGolgey's going to go through into Fania as well. That'll be a good move if he can get around the outside there. So, yeah, that's really good work from McGolgey into 11. Robbins losing the top 10 for Joe.
He is, so Robbins dropping out. But Martin Hemmingson, he's done it again. He has done it again. His 8th win of the season, 7th pole of the season. Hemmingson winning by a country mile. The Danish driver taking victory here in round 10, race 1 of Formula Challenge here today. But race to the line, Lexo under pressure from Hoekstra, but holds on to 2nd. Hoekstra 3rd, Harvey 4th, Watson 5th, Stevens 6th. Frelick 7th, and then Sven De Vries is going to come home in 8th. Kalutza 9th, Meister 10th, McGalgi 11th, Robbins in 12th, Fairclough in 13th, Diego Moscato 14th, Luca Flask getting a point. Mika Hakimi on his debut will be 16th. Good effort from him. Mike Bell 17th. Not getting points in the end. It looked promising early on. Ken van der May in 18th, and look how spread that is. And Eric Tesker running the lightweight version of the Asombic car coming up to the line. No nose on that car. 19th position for Asombic. Another poor day for them. Well, race 1 at least. And then right down back, we got a battle here for, a bit spread out, but a battle here for 20th on the final lap. Caitlin Penny, she's defending from Paul August-Lahn in the 2nd of the Madness cars. To go up back of the circuit. Andrew Waring's actually still going. He ended up with a huge amount of damage and actually still going to finish this race in 22nd. Jada Wright 23rd, and that'll be the last of the finishers, at least on the lead lap. Yeah, Penny going to come home in 20th position. Not bad for probably less than a day's practice after doing well in Academy yesterday. Obviously a bit short notice for her. Paul Alexander 21st, Waring 22nd, and Jaden Wright will be final finisher for Sunday. Yeah, decent race there. Your first time to come to watch the Formula Challenge, it's certainly action-packed, isn't it?
Oh yeah. To be honest, I'm really amazed that Caitlin and Paul Andrew. I think Jaden finished as well. I think they did really well to get back out on track after that incident on lap 1. Because I'm pretty sure I saw Caitlin in the air at one point, on top of another car. So it was good that they could go and get some laps under their belt. Martin, obviously, runaway leader. We said that was probably the most likely outcome at the start of the race, but we were treated a bit to that midfield battle.
Oh, it's incredible. It's one of the best, I think, the best battle we've seen all season. And there's no disrespect, but drivers are pushing the limits, but not going over the limit as well. You had 8 cars really scrapping away really well, and then De Vries doing a great job in defence as well. So all those guys involved in that, from 2nd down to 10th, 11th place, you should all be proud. That was awesome stuff. And then And what's race 2 going to hold off? Obviously, the people who could be on reverse grid pole: Justin Meister, Owen McGalgy, Danny Robbins. Could Gio get their first, or get reverse grid pole on their debut? Deegan Fairclough, Diego Moscato, Luca Flas. They are the people in contention for reverse grid pole. But we'll find out who gets it in a few minutes' time. We're just going to take a short break. Hello, everyone. We are back as we are in the warm-up session. And reverse grid number, it's a dream for Geo Grand Prix Racing. Danny Robbins has got pole position for race 2. George Morgan, I hope you're happy and excited for race 2 now with, your car being on pole position. So that's going to be an interesting one. And a great opportunity for any team. You've got likes of you got likes of Friesland down there. Obviously, Drive Games team that pulled out the championship. Rookie Monsters down there as well. Will they now be worried about Geo now the fact they got a great opportunity themselves to get a lorry load of points?
Yeah, I think so. Because you don't want to be a team that's been in the championship all year and come behind the team that have only done half a year, because that just doesn't look good. It doesn't matter where you're from. So yeah, I think they will be a bit worried. Now we know why Danny Robbins went wide at Pouon on the last lap. He knew it was happening, didn't he? He knew he would get the draw if it dropped down. So yeah, that's good planning there from the Geo team.
I wonder how much George Morgan paid the admins to get pole. Yeah, I'm aiming at you guys and taking the mick out of me all year in Super Cup. Thank you very much. Now,
what's that, pole every round?
Yeah, we won't mention the fee figure, but yeah, no, congratulations to them. I know the feeling of being on pole many times, George. Embrace it, enjoy it, and just pray that your drivers come out of it the other side with some good points on the table, maybe even a podium. Who knows? 20 seconds to go in this warm-up. It's got a bit on the cloudy side. It's not dark, but it's a bit cloudy, but still same temperature, 19 degrees here. So don't expect any rain or anything like that. It's a nice, calm, perfect conditions for these guys around Spa-Francorchamps as well. And for the new guys taking part here as well, they get a bit of an idea of what FC's or GPV's like. Obviously, not the Eau Rouge bit from lap 1, but we can all cover up that bit. That was quite a large accident, affecting a lot of cars, a lot of people's races. But if you watch the broadcast back and watch the fighting in race 1 there, and hopefully we'll just see more of the same again.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, like we said in race 1, it was really, really good driver ability. Any contact that there was really in that midfield battle, it was kind of law of averages stuff. It wasn't really anyone at fault for that. So, yeah, more of the same, please. I'll enjoy that.
Yeah, we'll have a double portion of that, I think. But warm-up is now finished. We'll go through the whole grid at the moment. As I say, Danny Robbins for Geo Grand Prix Racing, pole position. For them, alongside him will be Owen McGaugy as well on his debut as well for Thunder Dog. Yeah, again, exciting times for him as well. He's been a reserve driver in Super Cup as well. Can't remember who for, I must be honest, but yeah, it's the first time in a event in GPV. So best luck for him as well. The young Brit, taking some points in race 1 and then hopefully some more points in race 2 for him as well. And who knows? We could see a newcomer here today taking a race victory, because we've got a few more names to run down in a few moments' time. But for now, we're going to just see them go down the grid. But Martin Hemmison starting P12 in this race, Ewan, and he's had a brilliant season. But he has got some tough opposition ahead of him. He's got Harvey, Watson, Hoekstra, Lexo, De Vries in 5th. He doesn't need to do crazy stuff and win and get podiums, but how far up the grid do you think he's going to go? He's going to be, obviously really, really quick in race 1, but how tough do you think he's going to find it?
So what was he? He was 8 seconds ahead in race 1, so I reckon he can get up to 5th or 4th. Alongside De Vries where they're starting. I don't know, I feel like there's an awful lot of traffic with not an awful lot of laps to do it with. I mean, what's that, a car a lap pretty much, so yeah, 4th or 5th. He's been aggressive all season in the second races. That's part of the reason why he's got such a big championship lead, even though he, like we said earlier, he missed the first round. So his aggression will help him. We know he's a lot faster than anyone else tonight because of the gap that he had in race 1. So let's see. Having said that, everyone that's ahead of him, you know, they weren't slouching in race 1. They were all battling and going at a fair lick as well.
We will soon find out. But at the front of the grid, Geo Grand Prix Racing, Danny Robbins on pole position, as we said. Alongside him, Owen McGalgy for Thunderdog as well. Justin Meister in P3 for the 860 racing car. David Colotz on his debut starting P4 for RBA, the Royal Blue Academy team. So in the Vries, looking to correct a few wrongs. Right, a few wrongs, I should say. He's going to be starting P5 on his last Formula Challenge race of this season for him. Simon Frelick in P6. Tom Stevens in P7, the second of the Thunderdog cars. Amari Watson in P8 in the Santon. Thomas Harvey in P9 with Wopke Hoekstra starting this race in P10. Stephen Lexer in P11 in the first of the Nova cars. Martin Hemmingson in P12. Deacon Fairclough in 13th place, Downforce. Once again beating his teammate Mike Bow. He's, Fairclough, even though he's been a bit rough around the edges, he's having a pretty good run of form at the moment. Diego Moscato in P14. Luca Flask in P15. Mika Akimi, decent debut, P16. Starting mid-pack now. Mike Bow in 17th. Kevin Medemay in P18. Eric Teska for a Sombic P19. Caitlin Penny in P20. Paul Augustin in 21st. Andrew Waring in P22nd. Just apologise if you get any problems at the stream moment. I'll try and talk my way through it as much as I can. Jordan Wright in P23. Tom Voss P24. Big Six in P25. Joker Kapashik in P26 in the second of the Nova cars. Daniel Herlock P28. Dan Hutt P29. Timothy Andonovsky in P30. And Chris Griswood rounding at the field in P31 in the second of the Valley cars. So, is it going to be redemption for a few of these guys here? Do you think, where people maybe starting a bit further back on a bit of a rough race 1, going to turn up the heat now and perform and get some good points?
Yeah, Voss, Kalbarczyk, Herlock, Andonovsky, Griswood. We all know that they're probably on outright pace. They are top half the field. They got caught up in the
Well, the 5 lights are up and the 5 lights are out, and it's a decent start for Danny Robbins, but McGalgy looks like he's going to challenge into turn 1. Doesn't manage to. Robbins leads out of turn 1. It looks like, again, a clean start out of last source hairpin. We go up to a route once again. Be careful, guys. We know what it's like. Through here, Danny Robbins still leading. Now, are they going to make it clean this time? Sounds clean so far, and I think it is a clean start. But going up towards Leiku, McGalgy is attacking Robbins once again. Seems like he's got pretty good straight line speed in that car, but Robbins holds out. Everyone else, again, seemingly clean. So really good start this time round. We can have clean starts, guys. It's a great thing to see. But defending again, Moscato running onto the grass, being shoved over from Fairclough, I can see there. P13, that's a battle for. And Lexo's in the scrap there as well. Hemmingson's had a brilliant start. He's already up to 8th